right, YouTube. All right, YouTube. Hello. Welcome in, YouTube. I just played. I wanted to play more, but I separated the VODs just so it's easier for organization. We're gonna play a little bit of Chapter 6. Probably like an hour of Chapter 6. All right. Be sure to drop a lurk in the new YouTube chat. All right. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it across the entire world. Most desperately, an awful group of people ever. That is the mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. Hi, Captain. But right now, we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. All right. Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room? Indeed. Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
That's right. And we should be able to use it on that door, right? Dude, imagine it doesn't fucking work. Hey, Kyoko, can we use that key of yours to open this door?
It's true.
Let's find out. Kyoko took out the key. And then... Yes! It worked! Happy New Year, Ray! Happy New Year! And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Okay, so you were only in the garbage pit for like 2 seconds. He didn't even suffer. I wanted Makoto to suffer more. He's annoying. Finally. We were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief because a real fight had just begun. What are we fighting? Somebody standing outside with a fucking gun. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. Chapter 6. How's you? I'm good. I'm having a good time. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in the tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. The ladder was impossibly long. Of course we get a fucking panty shot, dude. Whatever. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down.
Hey.
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off of it. So Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you were the ultimate detective, right? So, how long have you been doing detective work? No shot, he's making small talk. Oh, brother. I remember my first time playing this. Hey, this is my first time playing it. How long?
So...
Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh? But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So, well, you don't want the detective to be known. You want to be able to be, subtle. Done shit in, but I think I gotta go eat dinner soon. No worries, man. Almost dying changes a boy? I guess so.
Right.
Because we take pride in it.
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society, which is why we made a conscious effort to conceal our existence.
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational, but it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. So that explains... Before I came here, when I was looking up info on school online, I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However.
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing It was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, is because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However,
There is something I want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I had to find him and tell him face to face. You a little bitch! Stinky penis! You got dick cheese!
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. Oh. Haha. Basically the same. The last time I saw him, I was still very young. I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in the line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented, and he had a promising future.
However,
But he had no interest in detective work. He had cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died, and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument. And, as young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work that I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that. What she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was much more talkative. And more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
However,
But there's one thing. One thing that I can never forgive. Really?
so...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
However...
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me, even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
Correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family. To just cut him out like that.
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey.
Is blood really enough to call someone family? Hey, I agree with her. She's kind of spitting. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that. I didn't really know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Imagine it's locked. Looks like this is it.
Indeed.
On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should be open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. I bet Monokuma locked it after she left. The hatch opened with ease, and so... Oh, damn, never mind. I thought they were going to be trapped. My fault, gang. Not to distract from your intriguing dialogue, but after seeing a bunch of your announcement, I'm left wondering, what on earth is this whole Irium thing you've been posting about? Yeah. So, it's what Forward said. It's a mobile streaming app for VTubers. That's where, like, all my just chatting streams are and stuff. It's a lot easier to stream on there. I don't have to do as much work as, like, with Twitch and YouTube. So, yeah, I have streams on there. I'm actually doing one tonight in, like, a couple hours. So, yeah. It's very chill. I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of here. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. So wouldn't Monokuma just kill us again? So now what do we do? I'm glad we didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds us out, I'm worried about you too. You helped me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So
Then let's just get a concrete answer.
in other
Let's ask
words,
Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Wait, that's...
however,
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time until we're found out. It's not like we can run away. As she said, she pointed to the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't. Because the mastermind is the one that's ensnared. The mastermind is ensnared? You said something like that before. What does it mean?
So
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Makuro's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. There was?
right.
If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still a little, super uneasy about this. But we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going. All right, guys. Off we go. Off we go, chat. To the gym. To the gym. I'm assuming we can't go talk to people before we go to the gym. They just won't show up on the map.
Well now.
Kyoko, I don't mind so much. But Makoto's supposed to be dead! What is he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Well, we are the ultimate lucky student. Okay, maybe we are actually lucky. Are we really gonna be okay? You were supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do? If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again, and this time I won't leave anything to chance.
Right.
Do whatever you feel you have to. But
However,
before you do, just let me say one thing.
no.
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right? Huh? I lose? You! Explain yourself! What do you mean by that?
Because
When you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
in other
I was
words,
supposed to be chosen as the Blackened and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about?
However,
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't all what you were expecting. Because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another like that.
right.
And in response to that unexpected development,
Indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation. No more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well. Yo, he's like, huh.
However,
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. You never imagined the possibility of being, of a being that could come over to our aid after you quote-unquote killed it.
am I wrong?
Now, here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Makuro. You did.
Listen to
So
me.
executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the Blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose? You talk a big game. You're saying that the Blackened is me and not Makoto.
Well,
And you can prove this, right?
Wow.
No, I can't. Don't just say it like that. What is this, a comedy routine? To make such bold claims without any shred of evidence.
That doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find some.
That's
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there is only ever one absolute truth. And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type?
because
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you love so much. You so love to inspire.
However,
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence?
indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey,
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. Yep, it's the viewers, it's the ratings. It's all about the ratings, baby. It's all about the ratings. Huh?
indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly right.
Listen to
Despair can never kill hope.
me. Hey,
Of course, you can say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have a choice. You have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair fair and square,
that's what we
then I
have to
suggest
do.
you take my advice. So, what is this advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Mukuro's trial over again. Only this time you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial. It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair.
And despair.
Yeah, Kirigiri!
Hey,
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial, one last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuro's killer, the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word. Why do you sound so devious?
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed! Oh, God.
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So, time for bear jokes! Now, what you've suggested might be possible. It would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
in other words,
Does that mean you accept?
You guys!
If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it would cause you unbearable despair, right? Then I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory?
I can barely contain myself!
Let's have one final glizzy Let's have one final grisly showdown. Guys, oh my God. Not the glizzy! Oh my God. No, I don't want a glizzy showdown. I don't want a glizzy showdown. Stop. I don't want the glizzy showdown. Guys, it was a misspeak. It was a misspeak. Misspeak! He agreed. Then we still have a shot at this.
Barrett!
But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting end.
You guys!
So for this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries. That's right. Every last mystery that's pawing around the school. If you can do that, then that'll be enough to
Contain myself!
qualify as a victory for you.
it's true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along. Okay, well, good. Then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Mukuro's death and solve the mysteries of this school, then you win. But if you can't do all of that, we'll all face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? We're as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to
When
me.
we've uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this has all turned out. Wait, so it is... Okay, so this is the last chapter, because either we don't figure it out and we die, or we figure it all out and we win? Hi, Monokuma! Welcome in! Please don't kill me!
Hey,
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that for sure. Oh my god, they said fur. So what?
Hey,
I just want to confirm. That is what you said, right? And it's a true statement? You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations. Wait, so it only happens when a student kills another? So, is the mastermind a student? Bruh. Okay. And having a trial for Mukuro is no exception to that. Mukuro's trial is no exception. Then it's part of the regulations, which would have to mean that whoever killed Mukuro... It's a very polarizing approach, I know. But, okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. What?
listen.
Are you telling the truth? Why'd you go quiet all of a sudden? Oh, God. I'm done talking! I got nothing left to say to you! So get lost, would ya? Why so mad? He seems emotionally unstable. Leave me alone! Get out of here! Okay, I'm going. You're really gonna let me go? I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment overflowing with despair. Dang.
Hey.
Come on, Makoto, let's go. Okay. Oh my gosh. Guys. Oh my. Monikuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as he walked away. And just like that, we were out of the gym. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life, and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. Kyoko! Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
However,
Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true. But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? Thank you for the lurk, forewarned. I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
so
They had no choice but to accept. Huh?
because
It's all because of that one moment that the mastermind let their guard down, like I said. So when was it that the mastermind let their guard down?
So
I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? They said that they hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that.
listen.
And what did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
Indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often. So it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off.
However,
And yet somehow the mastermind was able to do it.
in other
But
words,
think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. A reason.
so
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost. Us killing each other. They wanted to show the world.
it would
The mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all their rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
in other
The
words,
mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other and show that off to the world. But why? It's for entertainment, baby.
correct.
To prove a point, most likely.
Hey,
The outside world has a name for students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
that's right.
And for those of us who represent hope, to kill each other and to sink into despair. The mastermind wants the world to see that and try to prove that despair is better than hope. That sounds very My Little Pony. But, you know, My Little Pony, friendship is magic. But, okay. We can roll with it. That's their goal, as the ultimate despair. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
We all know that friendship is magic. You're right. It is ridiculous. Completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But is that really their only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto.
I know how angry it must make you, and yet the same motivation is what led the mastermind to revealing their weakness. What?
In other
Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The mastermind has to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
At the very least.
At least, that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. And that's why the mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves.
Indeed.
That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished. But in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all their proper rules to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer, then made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, the mastermind had to accept your suggestion.
Indeed.
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words.
It would only do the mastermind harm to have it shown that they'd violated their own regulations. But all of that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the mastermind to accept your challenge.
However.
Well, it's only thanks to you that we got that chance, because you believed in me. Another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much of the mastermind's thoughts and plans you're able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
Wrong.
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet. I wonder if she knew about any of this before her memories got zapped. And maybe that's why she has info? I don't know. But it looks like I got it right. This time at least. I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been nervous. I haven't been that nervous in a long time. Totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I'd showed my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy.
However.
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time.
Correct.
Or everything we've done, or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the mastermind, it'll cost us our lives. There's no option except to win. We have to do it. But before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but now we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do now is work together with everyone and destroy the mastermind. Destroy them mentally. Work together with everyone. Is that really possible? Huh? Anyway, right now we have to go find the others. They're probably in the dorm somewhere. All right. Well, let's go see. Can we convince them? Can we convince them? Toko?
Hey.
I don't think she's here. Come on, we need to keep looking. Okay. You. Where are they? Are they dead? Y'all better not be dead.
Hey,
Where are they? Who is / was your favorite character? Sakura.
hey.
Was that not everybody? Maybe in their bath? Oh yeah, because there's no security cameras. You're so smart. Hello? Mine's definitely Chihiro. I love Chihiro. I do. Damn, where are the hoes? Wait, what the fuck? Where is she? Are they in the lunch? Are they eating lunch? Or dinner? Y'all in here? Suddenly, we were greeted with... You again. Is he broken? I suppose his emotional instability reached its limit. Jeez, what the heck? I wonder what that was all about. I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. Ah!
Is that Makoto?
Yes!
You guys!
It is! There's no two ways about it. That's Makoto.
I hope you're having a good night, Shimiko.
You survived?
Jeez, you're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
Fuck you, Togepi! Togepi Pokemon looking ass bitch!
I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right?
Bro, Yasuhiro looks like he's trying to take a massive shit. He's like, ugh! Ugh! He's constipated. He's trying to get that last little pebble out. He's like, ow! Get it out of my ass! Ow! Everyone was there. All my friends who had struggled together and survived. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up.
What?
Wait, what's that smell?
What the
Yeah,
heck?
man, that seriously stinks. It's Makoto. He smells like wet dog. Get away! Shoo! Shoo! And in a flash, my tears dried up. Guys.
Makoto.
Yeah, let's explain.
Yes.
Explain what? But is it okay that you're here? What if the mastermind catches you?
It's true.
That's related to what I have to tell you all. I need to tell you all about the last class trial. The last class trial?
In other words,
We're going to redo Mukuro's trial.
Huh?
What? Seriously?
How about
What's the point of redoing it? Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't do it, like I keep telling you.
wrong.
The smell is Yasuhiro sharding. Actually so perfect. He really was constipated in that still. And he shit his pants. He shit his fucking pants. Makoto isn't the killer. And of course, it's not me or any of you. Then who is it?
I see.
What she's saying is that it was all the work of the mastermind.
Huh?
What? You're saying the mastermind killed oh my god. Mukuro?
That's right.
That's right. It was all an elaborate trap. I'm out of water and I'm crying in the curb. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what we had to do to stop it.
However,
But his decision meant that he would be the one to die. You spotted the
Did you
trap.
say?
Did you, Makoto? Make it sound like it was easy. I just,
however,
But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blackened, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the Blackened is to be executed. The mastermind broke their own rules, which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial done one more time.
Huh?
And the mastermind agreed? Does that mean they really did break the rules? They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain the leverage you needed, didn't you? I mean, shouldn't the mastermind have to kill themselves? Because they broke their own rules and violating school regulations means you immediately get executed?
Correct.
Very observant of you.
Naturally.
I recall what you said at the end of last trial. When you said now it's the mastermind that's ensnared. That's what you were referring to.
Don't be mean.
Hey, I'm totally in the dark here. For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it again later. So, knowing all this, what do we do now? It's about who killed Mukuro, right? So our job is to expose the mastermind? But there's more to it than that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school. Coffee Toffee! Oh, Danganronpa gameplay? Yes! I'm on chapter 6. I did chapter 5 earlier. And yeah, I want to do a little bit of chapter 6 before I end. Because I'm like, oh my god, everything's getting really good. Everything's moving so fast. So I wanted to do a little bit more. I'm probably going to be on for like 20 more minutes-ish. I don't know. When we get to a good stopping point. I don't care if it's in the room. Monokuma will be gone. I mean, he broke his own rules, so he should be dead, technically. Nice tapes, mouth, no spoilers. Thank you! Somebody came in earlier and did spoilers. I was like, well, leave me alone. I didn't read the message, though. Thankfully. Like, usually, unfortunately, when I played Danganronpa, like, 50% of the time, if there's a message that's longer than 2 sentences, it's spoilers. So I just don't read them. Okay. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school. Every last mystery? But we've been looking around all this time, and we still don't know anything, right?
Anyway.
You probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies. Everyone? Hey! Who said you could agree to those terms without talking to the rest of us? I'm fine with things the way they are! I'm fine living here forever with Master! I, meanwhile, want to get out of here as soon as possible. Anyway, at this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth. In other words, one decisive final battle. A rather interesting development, I'd say. What if figuring out who the mastermind is and how they killed Mukuro and the school's mystery... It's pretty tall freaking order. Maybe, but this time the trial is different. We know who our enemy is now. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we'll solve all those mysteries. I'm not so sure about that. Huh? I can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. Why not, bitch? You can't agree? Why not? Fuck you, Jack. Fuck you, Jack. Okay, long messages that have character names in them, okay? Long messages that have character names. My goodness. Goodness gracious. Alright. I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries.
Indeed.
That's what I thought too, at first. Until Monokuma gave us that little hint of his. It's a very polarizing approach. I know, but okay. Enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants. All of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step into Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
I see.
Monokuma said that, did he? Then Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable. Huh? But why?
So
If the mastermind really is the one who killed Mukuro, as Kyoko says, the mastermind would have had to have set foot in the school, right? Monokuma could probably murder Mukuro, but there's no way he could have disguised the scene like that. But according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope's Peak are the 16 students who have been taking part in the killing game. Then the mastermind is... There were 15 of us in the main hall in the very beginning. And add in Mukuro and you get 16. So the mastermind would have to be one of them?
That's right.
And those 16 people we started out with, the only ones still alive are the people standing right here. Need I continue, or do you get it now? You're saying the mastermind is one of us?
No way!
What if somebody didn't actually die, though? Never trust an off-screen death. Well, wait, we can't say for sure that's true yet. Monokuma might have just said all that to confuse us.
Indeed.
It's certainly a possibility, but only one among many. So it would have to be somebody, if it is somebody that quote-unquote died, it would have to be somebody that got executed, not somebody where like they investigated the dead body. So it wouldn't be Sayaka. It's obviously not Chihiro. It couldn't be Sakura. It couldn't be Hifumi. It couldn't be... Guys, what's the name of the guy that was like the student body president or whatever? What was his name? I forgot. Once you finish playing the first game of Danganronpa, do you plan on playing the other ones? Yes, I plan on playing the full Danganronpa series and all the games that come with it. Taka? Okay, so it's not Taka. That'd be crazy if it was Hifumi. The horniness is taking over. I did this, the ultimate jack-off. But only one among many. The mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. That is one possibility we can't ignore. Yeah, I mean, they're an ultimate, right? The ultimate despair, so they must be a high schooler. You can't say it's not possible. But if one of us was the mastermind, they'd have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? But did you ever see anyone acting suspicious anytime Monokuma was active? Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret. I don't care how sneaky you are, we would have noticed someone sneaking off that many times.
I'm right?
Then maybe Monokuma was on autopilot. Maybe they loaded up all the dialogue and actions beforehand. In that case, there's no way he could have had all those back and forth conversations with us. Well, it wouldn't be entirely impossible if they directed the flow of the conversation. Well, maybe, but still. I don't think so. Because things took a random turn. Like, the conversations take random turns.
This is a school announcement. You've all probably figured this out by now, but at this point, the killing game has now entered...
Crimson, thank you for the follow. The true ending mode.
So, in the name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school.
Ooh, that's huge! That's huge!
Look wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit.
Yo, that's huge!
Then we can all meet up at the class trial, okay?
Oh my gosh. How very I don't know what the fuck that word is. Magnanimous of him to unlock all the rooms.
That's fine.
The time for us to talk is done. Now we need to begin our investigation. But I was planning on working alone from the beginning anyways. Jack, thank you for the hydrate. It's hydration time. Good sippy. Good sippy! At this point, I can only rely on myself. On the Togami blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must uphold your responsibility.
Goodbye.
Well then. After making his final statement, Togepi left the dining hall. He didn't take me with him. Do you blame him? Without Master, the rest of you are like coffee cream without the cream. Or coffee. You're totally useless. So, bye. She just screams and leaves. Ah! That's what she does. With that, Toko trudged out of the dining hall. Now, she's gone. And you're gonna go off by yourself, right, Kyoko?
Indeed.
That's right. Which just leaves Makoto, Hina, and me.
You know?
In that case, I'm gonna go by myself too. Oh my god, are you serious?
Just a second.
Wait, how come?
How about
Just wait and see. I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power to figure out the mastermind's identity. Laughing loudly, Hiro left the dining hall. Everyone's really gonna go off by themselves? What about you, Hina? I guess I'll do the same thing. I mean, it's not that I don't trust everyone, you know, but Up until now, I haven't really been all that useful. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else. You're not useless. If you hadn't been here, I would have died. Makoto. That's really nice of you to say. But still, I know I've been mostly totally useless.
Okay.
So I figure at least here at the end, maybe I can find something that'll help us all get out of here. So I'm gonna go off and do it all on my own. Okay, see you later. Hina was in surprisingly high spirits as she dashed out of the dining hall. And once again, it's just us two.
Indeed.
Indeed. Just the two of us. So you're gonna go off on your own too, right, Kyoko?
However,
Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we're going to do our searches separately doesn't mean we can't still work together.
so
That goes for all of us. I think I see what you mean. Doing our own investigating doesn't mean we can't work together in the end. I should just see it as a splitting up to cover more ground. And then we can get back together and share what we found. Yeah, that's right.
So
Well, I'd better get going. I have an endless list of things I need to check.
correct.
Monokuma said all the doors in the school had been unlocked, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny in the school. We can visit all the places we couldn't go before.
Makoto.
Makoto, no matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth. By any means necessary. With that, Kyoko was gone, leaving only me. I don't have time to waste either. I have to begin my search. I still can't believe the mastermind might be one of us. So that's what I have to prove. I'll prove that the mastermind isn't one of us. I'll expose the mastermind's true identity and solve the mystery of this school. And then we can all escape together. With the power of friendship! I guess I'll start by taking another look at Makuro's Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Once we find out who killed Makuro Ikasaba, then we'll know who the mastermind is. So, where should I start my investigation to figure out who killed her? Guess I should start with the rooms that were locked up until now. The headmaster's room, the biolab, and the door in the data center. Oh my god! Oh! That's a lot. This music is banging. If I may ask whose death in general made you sad/upset? Sakura's made me sad. Chihiro's made me sad. I almost cried with Chihiro. And I think that's it. I mean, those are the ones that made me the most upset. It would be Chihiro and Sakura. Sakura was so... That touched me, bro. Sakura touched me. Sakura touched me, guys! Let's fucking go! I mean, okay, anyways. After that, I'll have to double check the areas that are connected to the murder, which means the garden and the dojo. Okay, time to get started. Places to check has been added to the truth bullets section of your handbook. Okay. I am gonna go ahead and end here because I don't want to start my investigation and then forget everything. So, I'm gonna... Oh my gosh. Dude, I thoroughly enjoyed today. I thoroughly enjoyed streaming today. And I hope you guys did too. I really, like... I'm so excited to see what I guess the end of the game is gonna have in store for us, right? Because, right? Because they said it's the ending. So this would be the last class trial. Either we lose and we die, or probably we win and then we die anyways. Or something like that. Oh, wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't that be hilarious? My goodness. Okay. I have somebody new that we're gonna raid. So we're raiding them on Twitch. Okay, I was making sure they weren't AFK. Please go send all the love Please go send all the love. Go send all the love. And on YouTube, I don't have anybody I can raid, unfortunately, because nobody is live. Nobody's live streaming. So I will have to see you guys later. But again, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I'm going to go stream on Irium in about 20 minutes. So if you guys have Irium, then it would be awesome to check you guys out. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you, Coffee Toffee, Four-Sided Hexagon, Silver Ganyu. Thank you, everybody, for doing good big time with me. And I will see you guys tomorrow for a stream. But if you're only going to come back for Danganronpa, I will see you next Wednesday. Bye again. Bye, Crimson. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Look, okay.
I could just play